What's good, DWA fam? This is Jared. Don't forget to leave a review, rating, or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Hope you enjoy this episode.
Hey y'all, and if you're new here, welcome to the family. My name is Asia.
My name is Jared, and thank you for listening to
Done with Adulting Podcast. We are really glad you're here because we're talking all things we have to do as adults that no one warned us about during the many years we were in school.
Yes, we also discuss pop culture, current events, and give our perspective on hot topic issues in our society. And even though we're best friends, we don't always agree.
Basically, we're millennials. We get it. Adulting is hard. Welcome to your safe space.
We hope you enjoy.
Okay, we're back.
Back again.
Back like we never left.
I feel like that, hey, the end of the music sounds like Little John.
I feel like for some reason in the past month, all of my technology hasn't been working. And I don't know what that's about, but I'm getting fucking sick of it. I'll tell you that.
This is a prime example.
One
of those instances.
But I also haven't talked to you in like... we can chalk it up to 6 weeks because
It's been a minute.
it's been a minute. And when we did our episode last week's episode with PD,
That Monday was a Monday. It was the Mondayest Monday?
yeah, the Monday is Monday of all time.
So give him a breakdown on that.
Yeah, so I mentioned this on the episode with PD when we re-recorded because, mind you, now you're distracting me. Mind you, that day I ended up interviewing him wasn't the original day. That was the second interview because that Monday, the Mondayest Mondays of all Mondays, the entire interview got deleted. So
I think you put this on your story.
yes. So, but prior to that, you were supposed to be on the interview.
Yeah. So
And-
I had meetings and work that ran late, so we had meetings back to back or interviews lined up back to back. So I'm like, just start, and I would either miss this or I'll jump in when I get there.
Right. And I was like, just come. I'll probably just finish it without you. Yeah, we had another interview after that, or we were supposed to. And
That's coming down though. That's coming soon.
so when you got to my house that day, I was already interviewing PD. Like we were mid-interview, and you tiptoed in. You're like, I'm here. You put yourself down. You go to get go to use the bathroom, all that stuff. And I'm in the middle of the interview, and I just see you packing up your stuff. And I can't ask you what's going on because I'm interviewing him. And you're giving me the signal I'm gonna text you. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I gotta go. Emergency.
And my texts come through my computer as well, my iMessages. So Jared messages me. He's like, I have to run. Emily locked herself out of the car at the grocery store.
And this was crazy because it's one of the hot. This was one
It
of
was
the hottest
95
days. Yeah, it's one of the hottest days of the summer.
When the text came through my computer, I literally couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
Mind you, I live 45
minutes. Yeah. You were just shaking your head. Couldn't even talk about it. This is literally the first time we've talked about the situation since. So Jared goes to save Emily, his very pregnant wife.
Oh, hold on, let me preface.
Oh
it
yeah,
with this.
you go tell your side.
Usually in her basement, she has zero service at all.
Oh yeah,
no service. So
that's true.
I finally get situated. I sit down, open my computer on the Wi-Fi. For some reason, I'm getting a call that I never usually get because there's no service down there. So
a call came through?
Yeah, the call actually came through. That's why I was like, oh snap, this is meant to be. This is meant to be because the call came through. It was a number I did not know. So I'm like, let me Google this. I was like, I'm not going to answer it. I was like, let me Google this number real quick. I Google it.
Oh, it wasn't Emily's number that came through?
No, she left her phone in the car.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, so I Googled the number and it's still ringing, and it says like Roach Brothers. I'm like, grocery store in Sudbury, and I'm like, well, that's where she went to go get the groceries. So I'm thinking she passed
Something
out.
happened.
I'm thinking
The baby's
she's giving
on the
birth.
way.
Yeah, I'm thinking she's giving birth in the ice cream aisle or something. I'm like, oh no. So I try to answer it. I was too late. I run upstairs, call back, and when I call back, everything seems calm. So I'm like, okay, cool. She's not giving birth. She's not giving birth. So they put her on the phone, and she's like, yeah, I locked my phone and my keys in the car. I'm calling my sister because her sister lives close to us, but they're not picking up. So I give them a call. They don't answer, so I'm like, okay, I gotta go get her.
You have to go. You have to go.
Literally the hottest day of the year, hottest day of the summer, and she's just stuck out at the grocery store. So
Jared texts me. He's like, so after he's like, I have to go pick up Emily, and he leaves. He sends another text. He's like, I'll reschedule the second interview. So I'm like, all right, it's fine. At least we got this one done. And then literally right after you left, my entire computer just turned off. Like,
so was it charging?
It was literally charging. It was plugged in. So
it wasn't a dead battery.
It wasn't a dead battery. It looked exactly like what we're looking at it right now, but with the Zoom. And I was on the last question, like, and I'm like, anything you want to leave the listeners with? And he's like dropping the mic, spitting facts. Like the last thing he said the first time was so good at both times, but I just remember being like, this is a good ass interview. And he freezes, so I'm like, okay, my Wi-Fi froze, Zoom froze, and I go to wiggle my mouse, and my mouse won't move, and the entire computer is frozen, and then it just goes black.
And you said this was like an hour plus interview the first time too.
90 minutes.
Oh,
easily. I mean, and because you said you were canceling the second one, we went longer.
Yeah.
So everything just disappeared. I just felt bad that he had to do this again. Like, if I was being interviewed, I'd be like, what kind of ghetto shit is this? Like, why do I have to do this again?
Yeah.
So that was the last time I saw you.
Running?
It's literally, though. But that was the last time I saw you, and we didn't speak because I literally just physically saw you. Then you were gone. And then since then...
You went to Vegas.
I went to Vegas. You got a new job.
Life's been moving around.
Like, what? Where do we even start? Literally.
Well, the new job is quick, so.
It's not quick. I have 1,000 questions, first of all.
Because I have 1,000 questions about Vegas.
I know. Okay, wait. Let's do the job first.
Vegas looked too lit.
So, you started this week.
Yeah.
How's it going? Virtual?
Third day.
Virtual onboarding is weird, right?
Yeah, but, I had actually went to the office today to meet the...
I thought they didn't have a Boston office.
No, they have one in Burlington and Quincy.
Oh.
And it was an acquisition. So the actual CEO, so the company's based in Seattle. The CEO is traveling here this week. So
got it.
My manager, who I'm reporting to, he was like, "Oh, go meet the CEO."
Was he nice?
Yeah, super cool dude.
Is he young or old? He's obviously white.
Yeah.
Old and white.
Yeah, old, white, short. But nah, he's cool people. He took me around. There was a bunch of other leaders and C-level executives in the office.
Are you a C-level executive? No, but you're a leader.
I wish.
You're a manager.
Yeah, people manager, I guess you could say. But it was good. Nice to meet him. Nice to put a face with a name. But,
so what was it like? What was your job search process like? Like pandemic? Give us the.
So basically, I wasn't really trying to leave because I was with a great company, and obviously I knew that Emily's pregnant, and I was about to get 6 months of paternity leave
at your old job.
At the old job, and they were and they were about to promote me. I would have got promoted in August, but there were some things. There were a couple of things that there was 3 strikes with them, kind of. So I'm gonna just give the information. So
please give the information. You are not at this job anymore.
Yeah, we have 2 promotion cycles per year. I was put up for a promotion earlier this year. They gave me number one. They gave me some MVP award that comes with a spot bonus. So when that happened, I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely getting this promotion." Promotion time came. I didn't get the promotion. I chalked it up to COVID or whatever. I'm like, okay. There was the guy who did our photographs, Nick.
Oh yeah.
He was a contractor. I brought him on to work with me and the team. They kept telling him they were gonna bring him on full time. Middle of the COVID, they let him go. They said that they will bring him back once we have head count and once COVID's over, things like that. But just the way that it happened, I kind of
Uncool.
uneasy about it. It wasn't really my department. It was like a company-wide initiative, but I still just didn't like it. And then third thing, throughout COVID, we went through a whole reorg. My original manager was out in Toronto, but then we did a reorg because they wanted everybody who's in a specific hub to report to somebody in that same hub. So you could actually have your manager in the office. So we reorged. We started working more closely with new people, things like that. I wasn't really feeling it. So that was like really 3 strikes right there. So I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I was checked out. I'm like too complacent at this job. Plus, I'm about to go on PT or paternity for 6 months. So I'm like, I'm chilling. I see a job pop up for Facebook on LinkedIn. It just piques my interest. So I apply. I'm like, I'm not really paying this any mind. I don't even prepare for anything. I get to the phone interview. I've realized that they would have paid me a lot more money than what I was being paid to do less than what I was currently doing.
Crazy.
And I was like, oh no, something's going on here. So then there's just other opportunities that I keep getting emailed about through LinkedIn. So I take some phone calls here and there, find out that all these jobs are basically a lot more money than what I'm making. So I'm like, all right, let me put this into hyperdrive.
Right.
So then I find this position. And I mean, like, the timing obviously is terrible because Emily's pregnant, obviously, things like that. But for all my interviews, I was upfront with them in general, letting them know that eventually I'm going to have paternity coming up because I have a baby coming soon. But it was just an offer that I couldn't resist and couldn't turn down. So I was like, F it, let's go for it.
So, like, basically further proves the point that if you want to make, like, a major salary jump, you probably have to leave your job.
Because, I mean, if I would have stayed and got the promotion, I think I would have got, like, 3 to 7% raise.
Which is basically nothing.
Like, come on, bro. That's getting all eaten up in tax. I'm not even going to see that money.
Yeah, and your paycheck is like $100.
Exactly. But if I make this jump, it's a higher position, more responsibilities.
But isn't it, like, less actual... Not, like... I mean, you just started.
No,
so.
not with the position that I took. This is a different company. It's going to be, I'm the first person in this role for the company.
Oh.
So it's not going to be like less work or anything. It's probably going to be similar to what I was doing.
Yeah, but as of right now, you don't have, like, you will eventually have people under you, but you don't right now. And didn't you have people under you before? So, like, just that, it's not as much work yet.
Yeah. So they, like, on paper, they weren't reporting up to me, but in, like, Salesforce culture, they put you in a role before they promote you to that role. So I would have been a people manager in my next position, or it would have been a supervisor, but I would have been managing and having direct reports.
Oh.
But Salesforce, what they like to do, they like to throw you in that role for a significant amount of time, not pay you for it, but just see if you can handle it, and then if you're doing well in it, they'll promote you.
That's weird.
Exactly. So a lot of people in the company, or at least in my
I've never heard of that.
They have some issues with that, but I mean, that's just the culture of the company. It is what it is. But yeah, right now I'm a first person, so I get to build out the team. I get to build out the department. I get to build out the future of the department, how I see fit and how I want. So
that's dope.
Yeah, and I get to travel because they're based out of Seattle. They have offices in Nashville and Denver.
Oh, so you're gonna travel to go to those places?
Yeah,
those offices. There was something else I was gonna ask you. Oh, was your job, like, were your coworkers sad? Like, oh, we should stay in touch, and then you're like, yeah.
Yeah, everybody was shocked.
Everybody was shocked.
Yeah, because
isn't that the most awkward though when you put in your 2 weeks and then you have to, like, say goodbye for, like, literally 2 weeks to everyone you talk to?
Yeah, so this was also another weird thing. So I gave him like 3 weeks. I put in my 2 weeks 3 weeks before. And my final last week, I took PTO so I could make sure, like, my paychecks lined up and things like that.
Yeah.
So I let them know. Boom. I talked to my manager, talked to the manager above that manager. Usually I was expecting, like, they would make an announcement because, like, even though I have a team within Massachusetts, we also work together with, like, a large region, which is, like, all East Coast people from Toronto all the way down to Florida. And I know these people. I've been to their offices, things like that. They've come up to Boston, helped us out. So it was pretty, like, close. So I was expecting them to make, like, some sort of announcement, but for some reason, like, they must have just told, like, the higher ups, like the managers, and then if it trickled down to individual employees, then it trickled down, but a lot of it didn't. So
people didn't know you were leaving.
Didn't know. So I was like, okay,
that's so awkward.
Yeah, it was very strange. It was like they wanted to keep it a secret, and I was like, That's kind of weird because I don't want people to think that I'm leaving on bad terms because
Right.
a lot of people, they call it a boomerang. You leave the position or you leave the company and then you come back, and Salesforce is like a big proponent of that. They'll like help you get to another department if you want to, or even to another company if you want to. But if you leave on good terms, they'll accept you back with open arms. So that's what I've been told that multiple times. Like, I'm always welcome back whenever the opportunity presents itself. But by the way that I left it, like, if somebody's looking in from the outside, they'll be like, well, that was kind of weird.
Right.
Did they leave on bad terms? But no.
My old job used to do that too. They, instead of making like a company-wide announcement about hires and like fires or leaves, they would like the managers and senior directors are responsible for telling their teams, which nobody ever does.
Yeah.
Like, because people have terrible communication in the office. So, I mean, especially during COVID. But now you have to. Okay, so you got to go in person today, but is everything else basically going to be virtual, or are you like back in the office?
No, yeah, it's going to be virtual, but we're trying to bring people back into the office in September, so
I gotta do a poll on our Instagram to see
how many people are in.
Yeah,
versus not. Yeah.
Cause I'm not.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be fully back into the office until 2022. But it also depends on what this winter looks like with COVID, especially this new variant. And
I know numbers, that thing is running rampant.
Numbers are going up, even in Massachusetts, and we're like.
But mostly of they're unvaccinated people.
Yeah. But I mean, I was about to say, even Massachusetts, the numbers are going up, and we're one of the states with a good amount of the population vaccinated.
Right.
So. But after all that boring stuff, how about let's talk about Vegas? Let's talk about Vegas. Free trip to Vegas.
Oh my
Nothing
Lanta.
but the ladies out there just partying up. Bottle services. Bottle service on deck. Pool parties on deck.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all can hear it in her voice, but she's still
gone.
Yeah. Her voice is still in Vegas.
My voice is in Vegas. I don't know if it's gonna come back.
She came back with a cough, but it's not a COVID cough.
I know, I tested negative, everybody. Don't panic. Vegas is something else. Let me tell you. This is my first time going to Vegas as an adult. The last time I went, I think it was like for basketball or something.
But you weren't 21.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually
so it basically doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I was not ready. I wasn't.
So what did you? So before you arrived, what were you expecting?
I guess I was expecting I was expecting to gamble. I was expecting to see a lot of people and meet a lot of people. I did gamble.
But do you do that normally?
No. But I felt like I had to because I was in Vegas.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was winning, and then I can't give it up, which is why I should never gamble because I never know when to walk away. It was just so it's like, what do they say? Like the city that never sleeps. That's They use that term to describe New York, but
no, Vegas is on that level.
That could be applied to Vegas because I got no sleep, and that's why I think I came back like under the weather. And I was telling you earlier, like when I came back, I knew I was gonna get sick. I was like worried about COVID, obviously. So once that was out of the way, I was like, I forgot about other sicknesses. Like I forgot about the common cold.
The cold's out there. The flu's still out there.
Sinus infection, general germs that just don't cause COVID.
Because when we were inside too, and we were wearing masks, a lot of people didn't get sick in 2020.
Literally, I think my immune system got worse. It
wasn't fighting anything.
Listen, Jared, it was a mess. I mean, in a good way, but it was just and the people that I went with, obviously you know this, but I work with these people in my side hustle, but for the most part, I've only worked with a lot of them over Zoom or over Instagram.
Yeah.
So I never met them physically in person before.
Yeah, my question is, were people really crying when they were meeting people, and why?
I mean, did I cry? I didn't personally cry,
but I saw other Snapchats or other Insta stories of
you did
tears shedding when meeting people.
Sometimes I think it just depends. like, also people were wasted, so like anybody can cry when you're drunk. You know what I mean? Like any little thing can make you cry. But no, it was lit. We had an amazing time. We stayed at the MGM Grand for free. Not for free. We earned it, but that was all comped. Our flight was comped, and then we just like paid for stuff when we got there. But one of the girls on my team, she used to work in Vegas, like in nightlife for like 5 years. She had every possible connection you could think of. So
and you're a bunch of women.
It was like 50 women.
Yeah.
So all like the pool party at Dre's, we didn't pay for. Like all that was comped.
Just walk right through.
And then the section at Omnia was comped. Like
that's dope.
All the drinks, like didn't spend a dime. But this was also
dangerous. That sounds dangerous.
Yes, it's also an issue for me because my wallet helps me also regulate how drunk I'm getting.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like, I had no thought about like how many drinks have I had, and we went all day. Like we were at.
Just that's what happens in Vegas. Yeah, you drink, you wake up, drink, you wake up drinking, and then you go to sleep drinking.
The funniest thing about Vegas is when you wake up in the morning and you come downstairs to the casino and you can clearly tell who didn't go to sleep. You're like, okay, you're still awake from the night before. You're like, it's so obvious.
They're probably on something hardcore.
Yes,
something more than just the alcohol.
Yo, one guy like that, my friend, we were like in line for something, and she was like talking him up or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'm down 30, and she's like 30. She's like 1,000, and he was like, "Shh, don't say it. Don't say it out loud." People are tripping. I was like, "You're down
full-time jobs out there, though.
$1,000 full-time job."
Yeah, if you think about it, if they hit one lick out there for $100K, that's more than people make in a year.
Yeah, you can also, but you lose that faster than you make it.
That's true.
You have to be betting. That's what I realized about Vegas. You have to be betting at a high level to win at a high level.
Oh yeah, scared money don't make no money.
Oh, my scared money wasn't making me shit. Except the slots in Vegas go hard. Like I was playing these random ass slots.
Like that's where you lose money the most.
No, I was up $150 on a penny slot. I put in $40 and I was up. My ticket. I cashed it out. I mean, I took it out the machine and it said $200 because when it's in the machine, it's just like points.
Yeah.
So I took it out the machine. It was $200 and I was like, oh fuck! I only put $40 in this slot machine, and I just put it right back in. I was like, let's keep going.
I would have walked away with that.
I know I should have, but I was stupid.
But the funny thing is, in like Vegas, it's like probably like 5 drinks.
Well, so then I'm so dramatic, right? Like, is this not me? I literally was like, hold on. I literally was like, I'm not going to gamble that much. I really don't want to. I was like, I came here on not on a budget, but like I had set aside a certain amount of money that I was going to spend first before I, go into my other shit.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to stick to that.
That's what normal people do.
Exactly. So my sister texted me on the first day. She's like, I want you to play the roulette or whatever. She's like, I'll send you money. I want to play like dad's, like whatever numbers. And I'm like, I don't really know. Like, if I'm going to if I'm going to gamble, like, roulette wouldn't be it. Like, I wasn't really trying to have that hanging over me. So I was like, no, I don't want to. So that was on the first day. So then the next day, literally, my friend Rachel is like, I had a dream that one of us won $250,000, but I couldn't see whose face it was. And I was like, excuse me? So, and then literally we were driving. It was like 7 a.m. We were in a taxi driving to those rocks. And we didn't sleep the night before, so we're dying, like chugging Starbucks black coffee, like just trying to get to these fucking rocks to take a literal picture. Like there's nothing out there except the rocks. There's nothing else to do. It's a desert. So it was just like, go get the gram pictures and get back.
Go get some sleep.
On the ride there, it's 7:30 in the morning, which is 10:30 in Boston. And my old coworker, who listens to this podcast, shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Tony.
My old coworker texts me a picture. He's reading the Boston Globe, and I guess the article was about they were like talking about high school sports history in Boston or whatever. And my dad, they were talking about Cambridge Ridge and Latin, and my dad's team that won the state championship, and my dad's name was in it because they were really talking about Pat Ewing, but my dad's name was in it. And it said Billy Ewing, and he had underlined it and sent me a picture, and he was like, "Is this your dad?" Like, I'm reading the paper, and I just put 2 and 2 together. So now I'm like, okay, my sister wants me to play this number. You just had a dream about $250,000, and this literally random text just got to my phone at 7:30 in the morning.
You should have did it.
And I did, and I lost.
You should have did it before. When your sister hit you up,
I
you
should have did it
like,
the first time.
You might have been up 250.
So I end up playing roulette, and I sit down. I play my sister's numbers with the money she sent me. Doesn't win. But, like, I'm feeling good, like, so I go take out more of my own money. I'm like, let me just stay at this table. I was the only one there, and the guy who was running it was a black guy, and I told him, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, it's fine, just sit down. Yeah. So it was only a $25 minimum, too. So I was like, oh, I could take out $200 and, like, stay for a couple minutes.
A couple minutes is right.
Stay for 10 minutes or so. So I play again, I lose. And I'm not looking at the board to see what colors went by. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm just picking numbers.
Yeah, picking numbers, picking colors.
This Asian dude comes up to the table. He's got different colored chips that have like I don't know what the fuck kind of chips they were, but
he was a high roller.
They had no numbers on, like they didn't have the $5, whatever on it. So he has these big ass yellow chips. He comes in mad chips, and he puts like 5 chips down on a number. My dumb ass, I should have just put my chips on his number. I don't. I put them on a different number. I'm like, this guy trying to come in here and
and he wins right away.
Hits. Immediately hits the first time he sat down. I'm like, yo, I'm bugging.
Yeah, I can imagine the look you're giving him, too.
I'm bugging. Yeah. So he wins. He's lit, takes all his chips, bounces. Like, that's what they do. He's out. So then I go, all right, this is my last play. I say to the guy, I'm like, this is my last play. I'm putting it all on this number. And I put it on 23 because that's my brother's birthday, which is coming up in August. I was going to put it on my birthday, which was 18. Went with 23. What hits? 18. And literally I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, this isn't meant for me. Yeah, like, I need to stand up because obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, yeah, I mean, it was lit. We had an amazing time. I went to Nobuyo.
That was crazy.
Nobu.
That's Asian, right?
Yes. I don't even like Asian. I don't like sushi, but I ate sushi and it was amazing. And then I had this Australian Wagyu steak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That don't melt in your mouth.
Melted. I was like, this is the best piece of meat I've ever eaten in my life. And that wasn't even the most expensive one on the menu. They had another thing on the menu. That was $150 for 16 ounces. But it's like shareable. Like they slice it and you're expected to just pick at it. Yeah. I was shook because I could have ate the whole thing on my own. I could have ate 16 ounces on my own. So I'm talking to the guy because I'm just like into meat cuts. And I'm like, is this the most expensive thing on the menu? He's like, no, the most expensive thing isn't on the menu. And I was like, what is it? And he was like, it's a Japanese Wagyu that it's like $40 an ounce.
Jeez.
And he was like, it comes directly from Japan. It's like the most highest class beef you can eat. And this is so fucked up. But I took a picture of it because he showed it to me. He was like, they send the meat with the birth certificate, official birth certificate of the cow.
Oh yeah, that's a little. They're tripping with that.
And I was like, can I see that?
That's a little extra.
And he brought it out. I took a picture of it. I'll show you. And it's like, it's written in half Japanese and like there's some English words and it says like born October 2018. I was like, this is kind of morbid. Yeah. Sorry to any vegans on here, but it was delicious.
Went in the middle of summer.
Oh, it was so hot.
Oh yeah, obviously that. But like, how was the crowd? Was it packed or was it slow?
Packed. You would never know COVID happened. You would never know anything. It was like Vegas is back.
Streets were filled.
The streets, listen, it was 120 degrees. So people weren't really like walking around. Yeah. Like you had to be either inside. You
had to be in a cut.
Yes, or in a taxi or in an Uber because it was just so fucking hot. And then I was in an Uber and this dude was like, the Uber driver was like, I was like, how do you guys survive here? It's so hot. He's like, where are you guys from? I'm like, Massachusetts. He's like, how do you survive there? It's like, it's so cold. I'm like,
facts. That's what I would have said to you.
I was like, fine. And he was like, yeah, it gets really hot here. He's like, August is our worst time. It gets to 125 degrees. And he said, in August, Las Vegas residents, I don't even know if this is true. So if you're from Las Vegas, please confirm or deny. Las Vegas residents, like, go around checking on homeless people because they just die out there of heat stroke.
I could imagine that.
And I was like, people die of fucking freezing cold in Massachusetts, probably, homeless people. And I was just like, I was shook that he said that. And he was like, yeah, so, when I'm out here in the summer, I'll go around and
just check on folks.
Yes.
That's nice.
But there are so many things I didn't get to do that I wanted to do, but they were like obscure things that no one else wanted to do, like go to Snoop Dogg's dispensary.
I didn't know he had one in Vegas.
I didn't know either until the Uber driver told me on the first day.
Is it legal out there?
It's so weird. It's legal to possess and smoke, but only on private properties.
Well, yeah, you can't smoke out in public.
Yeah, but like it's also not. No, you can.
You can't smoke in public in Massachusetts.
Yeah, but people do.
Well, yeah, but it's illegal.
So I guess they do in Vegas too, but it's but in the casinos, I think I was just confused because in the casinos you can smoke cigarettes. So why can't you smoke?
Can you imagine the casino smelling like a whole pound and some change?
Well,
that would be crazy.
What people do, which I caught on,
actually about Vegas.
It's like the smoke. Smell, yeah. But what people do, which I caught on to and then started participating, was like they can't tell, like if it's a tobacco vape pen or a THC vape pen. Yeah. So if you just have a vape pen,
you're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Did you or any of your close folks get sick?
Get like sick, like
puke?
No, I didn't puke. Thank God.
Somebody in that group had to puke. And I'm talking about not like your close group, but
out
of all of them.
Out of everybody there, yes. I mean, I'm sure people puked. But for me, it was just like so surreal because that was definitely the most people I've been around since COVID. And it's just like...
I'm about to say, it's probably a lot of people's first time out and partying.
Yes.
But I mean, it looked dope.
It was dope.
Are you going to plug how somebody else can get a free trip? Or
I mean...
You keeping it low?
People... If you follow me on my personal Instagram, you know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, this might be a first-time listener.
Okay, first-time listeners. Basically, what I do is I'm in network marketing, and my company offers 2 trips a year. I'm actually almost... This is the last month I can qualify for DR, and I'm like...
Oh, DR would be crazy.
But we just get earned trips for just like doing our job, and this was the first one I went on. So weird though, because when I started this, obviously Jared, I was like, I don't know if that's real, like I don't know if anyone ever gets it. So then actually getting it and going was like, oh shit, this is kind of dope. Like
I remember when you were on the plane, you posted something that was like a picture, and you were like, this is crazy. It's crazy that I'm actually on this flight.
It's wild to me. Like even up until the day of, I'm like, there has to be a catch, but there wasn't. We all had our own rooms, king size beds. Like it was like legit.
And actually, this got pushed back because I was kind of confused. So, because I know there were certain people who started way after you who were still on the same trip. Was that because they sold what they needed to sell, or it was because your trip got pushed back previously? And they just sent everybody together? Or is it like a plethora of things?
No, it was just because they did what they needed to do. What happens is they'll announce it. So like August, they'll announce Vegas 2022. And they'll say you have from August till January to get what you need to get done. But
and then everybody who qualifies will go on that same specific trip. It's not multiple in a year.
Yeah, well, last year they split it because of COVID. So they offered 2 options, April and July. But it's normally just April. And then DR, if I get it this month, will be in October of this year.
So you said, what's the timeline?
August to January, like the time.
Was that 5 months?
6 months.
Oh,
but
so
like, but it's month to month. Like every month you have to do something, so you have to qualify for the month. But you don't have to. You only have to qualify 5 out of 6 months. You don't have to do 6 out of 6.
Oh, okay. So if you qualify each month, you're good. But the quota is 5 out of 6.
Yep.
So you can't just kill 1 month, like. Blow it out the water, and then
you can, but then then you're committed to doing the other months. But also the other thing they did last year, which helped, is in August they said if you hit your shit in August, we'll give you 2 months. So you got 2 months if you did it in August, and then you only had to get 3 more in the next 5.
Word. Is August usually like a slow month for them?
No, it's like a big month because like in September we launch something new every year, so it's like it's like an exciting time.
Has it been 2 years already? Yeah, because of COVID. Wow.
It's been a year and a half. It'll be 2. I started in February 2020.
Oh, right before COVID.
Yeah. So September, but yeah, this is my second
then
September.
they did, no. So that September they did skincare.
And then no, that September they did wellness. Skincare already existed. And then the next year they did, and then I don't know what they're doing this year. It's like a surprise. Skincare already existed. You started on skincare.
Yeah, I started on skincare.
So it was wellness. The year
before then was...
The year before I started was skincare.
So when you came in... Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So you only seen...
One new drop.
Got you. So yeah,
this will be the second Anyways, that was a long sidebar. But yeah, it was lit. Highly recommend going to Vegas.
Oh, for sure.
Go with people. Go with people. Like, it's fun when you have a group out there. The other thing I was going to ask you about before we wrap up is you are like less than 1 month from fatherhood. Does it feel like Jaws when it's like dun 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 dun?
No, not yet. Like I said, I've been kind of disconnected with this whole thing because I haven't been able to go to any of her appointments. I actually finally got to go to one recently.
Oh, was it not? Was it fun? Was it like you felt real?
Yeah, it felt finally like, oh,
of having a child.
Yeah, but it's not going to hit me until I'm like holding her legs up in the delivery room and. Actually, no.
I cannot wait for that.
Maybe
birth
once
story.
her water breaks and. Actually, no. We just took a birthing class this past Saturday. And it started hitting me a little bit then. I'm like, oh, snap.
When it's said and done and everything, you guys are settled, babies, it's been a few weeks, we have to have Emily on for you guys to tell the whole birth story. Oh, yeah. That's like a thing people want to hear is like the whole birth story I want to hear. Emily's perspective, I want to hear are you going to faint or something? Like, are you going to be...
So I actually know somebody who fainted. He fell back, hit his head.
Oh!
They put him in like concussion protocol. And then, actually, I know multiple people who fainted, but no, I think I'll be good. I'm not going past the bottom half. I'm not putting my face down.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Just
I'll be rubbing her head, holding her hand. I'm not looking back. I'm not looking down there.
Do you feel like ready otherwise? Like mentally? Or like, I mean, I saw the baby room. It looks so cute, even though you're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done. I don't know.
You don't know?
It's just going to be here and I'm going to be like, well.
She's here.
New chapter in life.
This is so wild to me. It's also so wild to me that you're so, like, calm and nonchalant.
That's because I feel like there's like a lot of things in life that I feel like people...
Overhype? Like having a child? No, that's something you should actually hype.
But they make it seem like it's so much like worse than what it is. But I say that now, and then like the first 2 weeks I'm gonna be a walking zombie. I'm not gonna be able to sleep, but I don't think it'll be that bad.
I feel like it's gonna be... I feel like she's gonna look exactly like you with Emily's personality. If we're lucky. Just kidding.
Hopefully.
And I think you're going to be fine. I think it's just like a real test of like, that's what I want you guys to come back on and talk about is like the test of like your partnership. Like it is like the ultimate test.
Well, we already
of teamwork.
Yeah. I mean, beforehand, we already said that we're not going to let kids ruin us. You know what I mean? I feel like that's some people.
It's easy to say, but when the child is screaming at the top of its lungs at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you got to do.
Oh, I'm not ready. I know I'm not ready. But I already told y'all I'll maybe catch you on the second loop around the track. Damn, we have so much more that we want to talk about and catch up on, but we're going to end here for now. We just wanted to catch up. We miss y'all. Yeah. Say hi. Jared hasn't been... I just feel like we haven't recorded in so long. What is happening? We've been on so many other podcasts too, so we're gonna continue to when we've been doing so many amazing interviews that we want you guys to hear. So we're gonna sprinkle those re-releases throughout the schedule, especially after Baby Gains arrives, because Jared will take a short podcast paternity leave and hiatus. So yeah. That's cool. I mean, I have no other life updates other than hopefully purchasing a home.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a whole other topic.
I'm not ready for that either. I'm not. Honestly, 2021 is basically over, in my opinion.
It is. It's crazy. Time's flying.
And so much has happened. So much more. There's so much more to happen. I know. It's just like, what the actual fuck is going on? So yeah, that's it. We're going to end here. We're not going to ramble. Stay tuned for announcements. We say this every week, but we are getting closer. I promise you we're getting closer. We want to bring this community together, and
you got to show out when we do.
We're working on an event for our 2-year podcast anniversary, which is wild.
too much.
Okay, I'm giving them too much. Jared says I'm giving too much. So that's all. If you guys know what to do, if you like this episode and this podcast, leave us a rating, please, and a review. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes.
Yes, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Done With Adulting Pod. Also on Twitter, Done WTH Adulting. You know the vibes.